Ding, ding, ding. You know what time it is. It is time for the Scandal Sesh with your host, Summer Rayne, who just got back eating out the Yeti Man. Whew, I am exhausted. But alas, I am here with my special co-host.
Oh, you think I'm special? It's been a busy weekend. We're back to serving people inside of the bars again. It's crazy. But here I am, ready to talk about the we're going to talk about RuPaul. And we have a very special guest today. I met them when they first moved to Portland, and I'm super excited to call them a friend. Welcome, Atlas.
Hi. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing so great.
I've never been asked to do like a review of like Drag Race, and sometimes I feel like I have a very slanted opinion. Like it's very much from a certain point of view because of the fact that I'm a trans woman and I've always been told I can't be on the show. Right? So if any of my, I'm just warning you ahead of time, like if any of my commentary comes across as like, I don't know, a little harsh, it's probably because of that lens. But I'm really excited to talk about it.
Well, you also have another lens because you yourself have also been on a reality show before, so you know kind of the background of how things are done in like production and stuff. Like, so you kind of have an insight that we don't have.
True, that does make sense. Yeah, I've been on, like, I've done enough like television stuff to know that like how the producers probably prompt them. There's moments when I'm watching the show, I think, when I'm like, oh, Denali didn't actually ask her that question. She was like prompted to ask her that question. For sure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you can tell who has had experience with like anything. Like Gottmik has a very good understanding of how recording and television works. You can tell because they've probably done makeup on so many different sets that they're watching it and seeing it happen. Right? So like, I don't know, that it's very interesting to watch. I love it. It's fun.
Awesome. We're looking forward to your insight. Before we start talking about the episode, do you want to tell us a little bit about where you got your start, how Atlas came about, and maybe plug some shows or talk about your look today?
Okay. Well, I'm 31 years old. I grew up in upstate New York, and I started drag when I was like 17 because drag queens didn't get carded to go to the bar. And I was the only queer kid for like 100 miles, and I would drive, like I would have friends that went to college that I would go and visit. And when I went and visited them, I would get dressed in drag to go to the bar so that I could go out with my friends and like experience queer culture. And that just kind of built over time. Drag has always been something where I could like disappear from my normal life and kind of like become someone else. And then after transitioning, I feel like I don't consider myself a drag queen anymore as much as I consider myself to be more of just like an all-around entertainer. Like when it comes to like the labels, like I just really am an entertainer. I just want to be on stage. I want to make people laugh. My outfit. So originally we're doing this episode about this week's episode of the show is all about like the internet and like social media. And so originally I wanted to just have one that said canceled because like I think there's a huge issue with cancel culture, specifically here in Portland, specifically in the drag community in Portland, and it's all social media driven. and they talk about the toxicness of like social media on this episode during the performance, and I was like, oh, that'll be perfect, and then I fucked it up, so I made one with my Venmo information, because you should always throw your money at trans women.
Yes, we should. Yes, we should. And talking about throwing money, oh my God, this week's episode was crazy. I mean, I was excited to hear that it was the Ru Musical Challenge, because Alice, you're a little bit of a singer, aren't you?
Yeah, so when I was 18 years old and still just a little gay boy, I was on American Idol. And I wasn't like just on American Idol, like made it around or like got a golden ticket. It's like I made it all the way through the hardest rounds of the process and made it to live television. And then I was on America's Got Talent, only made it to like the judges round. I was on the first season of The X Factor and made it to the first round of cuts of the boot camp thing. And then, yeah, I sing. It's what I do.
And we love your voice. You always put on a great performance. You're the queen of karaoke here in Portland for the last couple of years too.
Yeah, I started a karaoke company simply because I love singing and love watching other people sing. Karaoke is magical. If you ever get the courage to get up and sing karaoke, it does something to you, especially when you just shake off the like, I don't want to be up here, this is weird. If you're singing with other people, just shake it off and live in the moment. I mean, you're literally gonna die someday. So you might as well do it. Like, do as many things as you can, and singing karaoke should be one of them.
That's right. And you kind of feel a bit empowered afterwards, because I have a little bit of stage fright. Even though it's on a big stage, I still feel like it's a big stage in this small bar. But when you get done, everybody's clapping, everybody's laughing. Get a sense of empowerment. It's like, I could freaking take on the world right now.
Seriously, it's a really lovely, lovely time, karaoke.
Well, let's talk about these girls singing on the Rusical. So they started out like assigning roles, and who was assigning the roles?
I think they all were.
I think that at first it was perceived that Denali was the person that was like, sit down, let's go through these roles. But I think that they had her personally. I think after the recap they do at the beginning that they're doing this season, where you kind of have a little piece of Untucked almost happen, right? So you understand that Denali is upset because her chandelier dress did not wow, right? Like you see that tension in the room between her and the other girls, specifically when Candy like rolls her eyes, right?
Forgettable.
So you can see that there's like some tension in the room, and then they immediately cut to her saying, all right, let's sit down and go through these roles. Right. And then the whole thing played out that she was the main character in that moment, that they, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And when they got down to the last roles, her and Rose wanted to fight for the same role. So then they made them audition for the rest of the girls for that role.
Girl, this season is the shadiest season I have ever fucking seen.
It was so funny because Olivia's like, we got a lot of nerve letting them audition.
Right. Oh my Lord, this season is like, there are some people on there that you can tell they just do not give a fuck. They're like, mama, this is my 15 minutes. I'm gonna say it exactly how I wanna say it. And I don't give a fuck if you like it. Oh, no, if Utica doesn't get Miss Congeniality at the end of the season, I'm burning. I'm figuring out where they film the show, and I'm burning it to the ground.
I don't know. I also feel like Olivia is kind of aiming for that too. I mean, she does.
Olivia, but there's like an underlying, like, especially Tina sees it.
I totally agree.
Utica is actually like kind. And I think that Utica is the queerest person on the show. Right? Like,
well, Joey J's gone.
but Joey, even as out of drag, seemed very just like gay boy.
Mm-hmm.
Utica seems like she hangs out with people like us and like lives in Portland and like she would do well here. Like she looks like everyone I ever see at New Seasons. And they go by they them pronouns and they are on a keto vegan diet.
Okay, let's talk so now that we've watched it, let's talk about how we think that they all performed overall. Like I think like the standouts to me, I actually thought Tina did really good. I guess I missed the part where the judges said that she stopped lip syncing. Because
I thought it was intentional.
I was so entranced with the number I didn't notice. Like I thought she did really well. I thought Elliot did really good dancing. I thought Elliot's character was really fun to watch. I thought Gottmik and Denali, like I think that it wasn't that Gottmik learned the choreography. I think that they realized that the choreography was just kind of a suggestion, and that if they just made their characters fun enough that you weren't caring what they were doing, like, because I think that they didn't necessarily kill the choreography, but they killed like entertaining us, and we weren't focused on what they were doing.
Right, exactly. It was just like Candy was supposed to do. She might not have known the choreography or sang well, but she needed to be 120,000%.
I think they teach. I think that the reason that they show us them learning the choreography is one, so it's that added stress, but two, at the end, even if you forgot all the fucking choreography, they're trying to see if you can own your shit and you can take that information and make it your own. Oh my God, can I just make one comment?
Yes.
Olivia's ever-growing sweat.
Oh my God, I was just about to freaking say that! I was like, first of all,
she was wet, girl. And then
wearing pants and a tank top while everybody else has costumes, which I can understand her character because she was Marky Zuckerberg. So he's like
he's in college and he's sitting in his dorm room. Yeah.
I totally get that. But then when she came on the second time, she was a little glistening, and I was
but they went from her it like started getting big. I just noticed it started getting bigger and bigger, and then immediately after she turns and she's walking away and you see just her whole back is soaking wet. They go and they pan to Candy, and Candy is wet.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And it made me think, like, how hot is that fucking room?
Let's talk about these yellow looks.
Yellow is my favorite color. Canary yellow, though, not very flattering. It's very cool, but like a toasty yellow, like a yellow, like what a Rosé was wearing with a little sprinkle of orange or something.
Mama, that was like marigold. The fact that she tried to read her for being yellow, I was like, no. Do you love that I went and put on my yellow jacket for you?
So the first walkout in yellow was the queen of yellow, Tina Burner. I mean, this should have been easy for her because we know she likes yellow. And I actually think that this tab look was really good.
Yeah, I think it was the black hair that really took it out for me. Like, not out as in bad, out as in super good, because Tina had black hair and really dark makeup. And we've never seen that from her before. It was so.
I loved seeing her wear good hair.
She looked beautiful. Now, Tina, taxi cab, lights on the tits. Was it a bit predictable? Yes. I really would have liked to see something else like outside of her comfort zone.
Yeah, but I mean, also like I feel like they need to give their best because it's the biggest stage ever. So like doing something outside your comfort zone, yeah, when you can, but also like certain challenges, like make sure that you're just giving it your all.
Yeah.
Pull out your best drag, yeah.
But yeah, I loved hers. I think later Elliot comes out wearing a similar one, and Elliot's like, I did it better. I was like, I think you're gonna regret saying that when you watch this played back, because
Elliot's hair was better. That yellow hair was good. She was wearing a good coiffed hair.
Mm-hmm.
But her outfit was, yeah.
Simone, her performance was okay. The singing, no, she should have went over and beyond because the singing wasn't bad, but her runway look with the Avalon suspenders, with the, you know, Atlas inspired coat, you know, Versace coat, she really looked good. And against that melon, that dark skin, oh my God.
Her drag aesthetic is so beautiful.
Perry, tell me what you thought about Olivia's little ostrich cuffs.
I thought she was stunning. I actually I didn't think she was a standout for me in the performance, but I thought she did good enough that with this look, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if she was in the top again. Because I just feel like she's very consistent, like very well done. Like, she wasn't my favorite this week, but I think that she did everything she needed to, like, to be in the top.
I love Utica in her fashion. She really brings out stuff like period pieces. Like, I'm a huge historian. I'm going to school for history. So when I see this medieval dress that says that was so controversial because the sides were out, oh my God, I just love what she brought to the stage this week.
I'm obsessed with her fashion. I just read an interview of her where she was interviewed for Vogue. Mama, Vogue. That means Anna Wintour knows who Utica is.
Right.
And allowed her to be interviewed for the show based on her fashion sense. Mama, at the end of the day, everyone else is canceled. She's verified. She's Anna Wintour verified, bitch.
She's got that blue check mark, honey.
Her style is impeccable.
So let's talk about everyone's favorite. Let's talk about Candy.
I thought she looked okay. I get the reference and I got it. But you're drag, honey. It doesn't mean you need to look like Beyonce. I wanted like big hair, even like huge or something. Have it a big old coif and then have it come down.
I think that hair with the daisies would have been cuter if it had been bigger.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I went and saw Beyonce in Seattle, bitch. That weave was laid the fuck back, but it was so big and beautiful and luscious and came to her fucking the back of her kneecaps. I think a bigger silhouette, and I really want it. Like, if you're gonna go for it, you're gonna do lemonade. Carry that baseball bat, bitch. Where is hot sauce?
Totally agree.
I feel like she was kind of lost in the outfit. Like, I feel like the outfit was bigger than her. And I just don't think that she wore it well. It didn't give her, she didn't have a shape. Like, we keep talking about, like, these girls need to have the right shape. Let's talk about Rose.
I got yellow. Totally got yellow.
It was definitely yellow. Michelle is, she's getting old.
It was orange.
She's not wearing her glasses.
There were so many different shades of yellow on that stage, and hers was the only one that stood out. Like, it was definitely not a typical shade of yellow.
Yeah, but I think it really stood out because her face was green. And so
also, the face she chose to make on the runway was terrible.
I get the reference because I love The Mask and I love Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz, and I love that movie. And I really wish that maybe like she had a reveal. Like, The Mask was his whole head, and so I think it would have been cool to like pop her wig off or something, and it's like the fucking mask, and then you have a reveal, and then it's like even like a suit or like more mask. I don't know, more. I feel like it could have been more, definitely. But then Elliot comes out. Okay, Elliot. She comes out in the taxi cab. She looks good. She looks great. social media has now come for Elliott. Have you guys seen this?
Yes.
Where her references
Her microaggressions and what she said in that interview, which honestly in that interview, she sounded stupid.
Yeah. Her look was from The Wiz, from a taxi cab. And the research has shown is that the taxi cab in the video has, in the actual movie The Wiz, is one that does not pick up Black people. And so her reference to that is, a lot of people say tone deaf. And I mean, I can't believe it. And everybody's been coming for Elliott this season, so I'm a little worried for her.
Oof. I didn't know that. That's news to me, what you just said. That's, yeah. Why would you reference that specific fucking taxi?
Right.
You're not referencing just The Wiz, girl. You're not referencing The Wiz. Also, The Wiz is not something that you personally as a white person should feel inclined to reference, right, because it's not as much ingrained in your culture.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, we just keep going on tangents.
That's all for chesticles and testicles. Going back to Elliott, she looks good. She mentioned that it's a little bit elevated in Tina. I think personally that it was a great take on a taxi, especially with the wheel and the fare that said $100,000. That was very small details that really, to my opinion, looked better than Tina.
I think I missed those details, but like I wasn't super impressed. I feel like, and then it also has to do with like sometimes it's just bad timing. Like she came out second, so like even if it was better, like once you've already seen it, like if she came out first, I would have been comparing Tina to her, but she came out second, so I was comparing her to Tina. Like,
yeah, absolutely. But another person, and I really think that she really stepped out of her comfort zone, was Denali this week. She looked, I mean, I don't think she looked amazing. The concept was great. The snake sequin yellow fabric, I thought that was really good. But it wasn't like like her last runway was with the chandelier.
Yeah. I feel like she's starting to like definitely show like a very similar style. And besides like the exception of the chandelier, but like I feel like there was something about this that like it also was, even though it was different, it just reminded me of the Black Widow. It reminded me of I can't remember what the other look, but like I don't know, like it didn't stand out as special to me. But I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what she was wearing.
Like the snaky skin thing with like the snake head.
Oh, with the headpiece.
Yeah.
I hated that if she made that headpiece herself, I want to know who made it, because I'm interested, because like they made the whole thing cover the entire head, but then when she turned around and walked down the runway, there was like a weird little square patch of a blonde wig underneath it. Did y'all see that?
No.
Yeah, right in the back when she turned around, there was like a little just patch here where the headpiece kind of stopped. But whatever she chose to wear underneath, it looked like just like a short blonde, I don't know, like an Ellen DeGeneres wig.
We have to see that. But I love how she's like, Britney Spears, this little AMA like snake.
That was cute.
This is me now. And it's like, oh, I know that reference.
How can I sell this to people if they don't like me?
Oh, I'm gonna make some shit up.
I think my favorite was probably Gottmik. So Gottmik came out in like this yellow, like toxic, like just like yellow and X square. Like I don't know. It looked good.
The crash dummy was cool. Their runway looks have been fabulous, personally.
So now that we talked about all the outfits, like who is your, like, I think that when I saw this, before they announced who they were going to pick, I personally thought that Tina was going to be in the top. I thought Gottmik was definitely going to be in the top. And I was kind of torn between like Olivia, Rose, Denali. And I thought for sure Candy was going to be in the bottom. Simone was going to be in the bottom. I honestly didn't know who else was going to be in the bottom with them. Like, we're getting down to where there's not enough girls, and it's sometimes the girls in the bottom, it's not that they're bad, it's just that out of all of them, they weren't as good.
Yeah.
I think that Elliot should have been in the bottom too. I think with the lights down during the performance, with the flashlights, it took away from actually looking at the look, hearing the lyrics and how he was singing. I think that Elliot should have been in the bottom.
See, I really liked Elliot in the performance. I thought that his like performance was fun.
I personally, looking at the tops and the bottoms, like I said earlier, I think Tina I thought she stopped lip syncing intentionally, as if like I've seen in so many different movies or like references where like it's that dramatic pause from doing what you're doing where you like break the fourth wall and you look at everyone and then you die.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was that. I literally saw it as she said what she had to say and then she got down and then she struggled and then she died. I didn't realize like the judges obviously read it as her just like giving up.
Yeah.
So that shocked me. I was like, oh, she's in the bottom. That makes no sense. But I get it from the lens that the judges saw it in, you know? Personally, I think that Candy and Simone, having watched the entire episode, were definitely the bottom two. Absolutely.
But alas, Candy, Simone, and Tina are in the bottom. Gottmik, Denali, and Rose are in the top. Rose ends up winning. Are you happy?
She deserved it. She deserved it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have voted for Rose, but I'm not mad that she won. She wasn't like, I feel like it was.
Who do you think should have won then? I want to know. Who should have won?
I would have given it to Gottmik. I think that Gottmik's runway was my favorite runway, and then her part was small in the performance, but like, and even though she didn't know the choreography as well as Denali, she stood out to me. Like, I feel like,
but I think it was based on the musical side because it's a singing challenge, right? And like, I don't think there was any way that her or Denali could have won because they were in a duo. They weren't able to stand out on their own.
Right.
They're not gonna be like, the Russian dolls were sickening, so they both win.
They've done that before. It was Shangela and Alexis Mateo when they did the Fembots. Yeah. Well, Rose wins. Candy and Simone are in the bottom. They lip sync to a song. Oh my God, it was a great performance, and I think they did amazing. And then Simone wins. She walks back to the stage. They say goodbye to Candy, and Ruth says, "Oh wait, hey, hang on, Candy, I'm not ready for you to go yet." Girl, they should have done that to somebody else in another season.
I personally thought that Candy did a better lip sync than Simone. There were more moments because I feel like that's what the judges are looking for, is those moments. I feel like there were more moments, and again, I read on Simone's face that she was self-sabotaging herself.
Yeah. Maybe it was that thing of like, okay, Simone did not do well in the Rusical, but her runway was amazing, and her lip sync, she brought out her actual personality. Candy didn't do so well, but she is turning it, trying to save herself. All right. And Simone's been doing so well this whole season so far. Let's give both of them another chance.
I mean, I honestly think it was, I thought Simone did better. I thought Simone looked cool and calm and collective, and Candy looked like she was desperate and like kind of messy. But I think what happened was RuPaul said, "Sashay away," and then the producers were in her ear like, you just sent home our best like meme queen. Like, we need more. Like, we're not ready. Like, and then she's like, oh shit, production needs more of this mess. Like,
Did y'all see that she was kind of like, her eyes were teary though?
Ruse.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen that often. In both episodes, in UK and in US Drag Race this week, RuPaul had tears in her eyes. I wonder if that bitch has been like secretly diagnosed with like a terminal illness and she is just turned into the nicest person on the planet all of a sudden, because she has like more emotion to her recently. But in both episodes, she was teary-eyed when she was telling people to walk away.
I think it really, like, not only was I kind of annoyed when it happened, but then after watching the show, watching Untucked, when Candy says, if they can't see my face, too bad, that just made my blood boil. I was so mad. Like, she's like, it's not my fault I did bad. It's their fault they didn't see it. Like,
no ownership. No ownership for anything. All right, so they both are saved. Next week's episode, please come back. It is going to be the Snatch Game. Atlas, if you had to pick somebody for the Snatch Game, who'd you pick?
For me to do?
Yeah.
Betty White.
Really?
I would dress as an old lady and I would make weird old lady jokes.
Like old lady sexual jokes. Like when she was in
when the arthritis finger, you know, when those arthritis knuckles were like making her fingers kind of bend to the left a little, and she was just kind of like, I could do this all day. Like those creepy old lady jokes that she just puts in. Betty White.
Yeah.
Or Bolivia Carmichaels. Can we do a Portland Snatch Game? Can we make this a show? Oh my God. How about the three of us? Okay, we're doing this now. I'm officially doing this now. The three of us, me, you, and Perry, we should get together and at Scandals after COVID is over, we should do a live Snatch Game.
I don't think that you lived in Portland when we did it before, so I would love to do it with you. But
please, let's do it.
All right. Well, this is the end of our episode of the Skin Sesh. Make sure you stay tuned next week. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're going to attach our Venmos. Make sure to tip our fabulous guest today, Atlas. Let's all give him a round of applause.
thank you so much for joining us, Atlas.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I would love to come back sometime.
Well, thanks again and goodbye.
Bye. Good.
Wait, I didn't. Oh, I'm not. Ooh, never mind. I'm going to keep my shady comment to myself.